November is all about gathering, Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, and football weekends. Total Wine & More has everything you need for your table and your toasts, with thousands of wines, spirits, and beers at the lowest prices. From bold reds to sparklers and smooth bourbons to tequilas made for celebrating, Total Wine has it all. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine & More.
Curbside pickup and delivery available in most areas. See TotalWine.com for details. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
In a so-called free state, officials and stakeholders concoct solutions to problems often created by other bureaucrats and with little regard for infringements on the people. These stories are born at the apex of freedom and entrepreneurship. We foolishly advocate for the taxpayer. Brian's Beat presents Freedom Fools.
Hour 2 of Freedom Fools. I'm Brian, glad to be with you. That sigh is because of the fact that the rain has stopped. Maybe we'll have a pretty nice weekend as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. I can hardly wait. So I want to get into what New Bedford police have been up to, but before we go down that particular road, I want to take a call that came in during the news, and I said, kind of important. Let's get to it. So, Sketty, good afternoon. Happening with you?
Okay, thank you, Brian. It is a good afternoon, and yes, the sun is poking its head out, and I think we're going to have a good weekend as well.
I don't see any pokers over here.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I get out, I'm going to go over to the butcher shop. I got a corned brisket that they have. It's calling my name.
And what are you going to do with this corned brisket?
I think I'm just going to put it in my little oven and cook it.
You got an easy bake?
It sort of is. It's a New Wave oven.
Ooh,
I love it.
New Wave.
It really cooks very well. Yeah, New Wave products have been around for a bit.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the music, New Wave.
No. No. But this is a really good, I love this New Wave oven because it really does, it cooks well and there's no grease. It's fabulous. So I was thinking about doing that. I don't really feel like doing a crock pot type of meal with it. I just want to, just throw it in there and see what I can do with the rest. And some good yummy sides. I'm craving Brussels sprouts. So, but yeah.
So what's going on? You were disturbed by something when you called.
Yes, very much so. So there's a text going around, and we'll say if you are a person that can get their text on top of your phone, and you see it without opening it, it'll tell you, there's a final notice of traffic violation for unpaid traffic violation fines, and this is your final notice, and this and that. Now you can hit that in your text, but don't hit the link. This is a scam, and it's a 98 number. 989 is out of Michigan. Now, what's interesting about this is in Michigan, at this part of Michigan, I think it's called Signate, if I can pronounce it right, almost like an Indian name. Population like 40-something thousand. But anyways, this is like an agricultural area. The biggest thing that's there is the sugar company. So I don't know what the job, somebody's setting up shop, put it this way, and they're scamming us. And
so what are they doing exactly?
They're doing this traffic violation. They're sending out notices to make you think that you got a traffic ticket, some kind of violation, when in fact you haven't. But some people might think, geez, did I get a parking ticket and the wind blew it away? Like, oh my God, I better hit this link because it's a final notice, and it will tell you has to be paid on November 23rd. So don't do it, you guys. And another thing about this 98 number is in the state of Michigan, this particular town, you can actually buy that 989 number. You can buy it and use it. So somebody, apparently scam artists, have decided they want to use this. And so please, people, please, don't do it. Don't even think for a second like, geez, did I get a ticket? Did I forget? Like what? Don't.
Well,
call your town
nowadays,
hall.
I don't know about you, but what I notice is that there are many cameras or monitors on traffic light poles and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you may not necessarily know that you got a ticket. Somebody took a snapshot. They got
Because
your
they
license
took a
plate and
photo.
all that kind of stuff.
That's right, because absolutely intersection, the cameras that they have there, Big Brother. Yep, they can see things coming, going, exiting, off exiting, highway ramps, whatnot.
So have you reported any of this to the local authorities?
No, but I'm going to call. Well, the local police isn't who you really want to call. Who you want to call when you get this is you would want to report it. Well, I report it to the state police, Dartmouth State Police. I call them and let them know, and then they tell me the Better Business Bureau, and then I you will get directed to a couple of businesses because they will put that in their scam at us. So myself, I start with the Dartmouth State Police. Call them and we'll tell them I want to report this phone number.
What about the district attorney's office?
No.
No?
No.
Well, I mean, isn't that a way to kind of cover your butt? If the district attorney knows.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you hit that, if you open that and then hit the link, anybody that has done that already, since we are talking about this, oh my goodness, yeah, definitely call.
What happened? Not that you did it, but what happens if somebody hits that link?
Oh, they've got you.
How? Are they able to tap into your bank account? What are they able to do?
Your name, your whole everything, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's like if you were in a store and you wanted to use your phone for a QR code. You know, I tell people don't scan the QR codes out there because they're putting even a film over there with their QR, and you're hitting it, and they got everything they need. It's just another thing to trap you, and it's horrible and miserable. I don't want to see anybody go through this, and especially if you're a person that travels a lot and you think, like, are you somebody that gets a lot of traffic violation? Me, I've never had a speeding ticket, so, you know, I don't know. Maybe I got in trouble for something, and it's like, oh, geez, did I get? No. But many people out there maybe are prone for it and would think, oh, geez, what ticket didn't I pay? Don't open it.
I didn't pay my moped ticket.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? I love this new this new police chief. He is doing a great job. He's rounding up the moped people, and wow.
You know what? He's running up the moped people. Did they ever get the folks that sprayed the bullets up on Ashley Boulevard?
No, and that's another thing. I think we brought this up 6-7 weeks ago. We were talking about this again. There's nothing. No, I mean, at first it was reported as domestic violence, a father against his sons. I never heard anything again. That is
So, but
crazy.
we got the mopeds.
But we're getting the mopeds. But then, too, this chief of police, I don't think was in when that incident happened.
Oh, I think he was.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was in the vicinity of the
time he got
the person that we found out wasn't yet a U.S. or hadn't become a U.S. citizen, but made it to the police department.
Right. Okay, so he was on.
Yes,
right.
He was. Yep.
Yeah. So Brian, it's crazy that just goes. Certain stories just get
lost.
Put under the
Well, and I'm going to get into. I do appreciate your calling in today. That's part of what I'm going to get into this particular hour.
Okay. Well, thank you, and you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
You too, and happy Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, you too. I almost forgot.
Don't forget to flap your wing.
Okay.
Bye. You too. 508-996-0500 to get on to Freedom Fools today. So I'm reading in the Standard Times. New Bedford police say they are continuing to crack down on illegal scooter and moped activity throughout the city in an ongoing effort to improve roadway safety, address persistent quality of life concerns, and reduce crime and disorder. For years, since I've been working. So 2009 is when I first did my show on this radio station. Since 2009, I have been hearing about mopeds and scooters and ATVs going up and down the streets of New Bedford. Don't really hear about it in any of the other towns. But in New Bedford, it wreaks havoc. When the weather starts getting good, in particular, people, I can't take the noise. And I know I'm making light, I'm making fun, but if that's the worst thing that's happening, seriously, if that's the worst thing that's happening, New Bedford is a model city. Really. Illegal scooter and moped activity remain a persistent concern within the city, according to a New Bedford Police Department press release. A persistent concern. Think about it. Scooters and mopeds. Now we're going to get down to it. Riders operating without registration, licensing, insurance, or helmets create significant liability and safety hazards for themselves and the public while contributing to noise and disorder in the neighborhoods. They do make noise. Okay, I don't know that you can get them on a noise pollution charge, but they do make noise. Now, I don't know how many of these vehicles need to have insurance and licenses, registry, all that kind of stuff. But why not take the same tactic with them that you do with vehicles? If you see one, pull it over, or to the best of your ability. I understand these are small vehicles and they can sometimes get away, go down alleyways and whatnot. I get that. But to make it sound like we are cracking down on crime, well, I don't know. You tell that to the person that had their home shot up a few weeks back. And there's something about that in this release. Apparently, recent criminal offenses, including shots fired and shooting incidents, have been perpetrated from scooters and mopeds. So is that what we should be thinking about what happened on Ashley Boulevard several weeks ago now? Now, here's the part that really, it makes me think, and I don't live in the city of New Bedford, so it's not my tax dollars. It's not my major concern, but I'm speaking to many people that do live in the city. Sketty is a city resident. On November 20th, today is the 22nd, so 2 days ago, Thursday, the New Bedford Police Department's Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau. Remember, we're talking about mopeds and scooters. The Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau and the newly formed Crime Reduction Team. Did you think that New Bedford's police department was big enough to have an Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau looking into illegal scooter and moped activity? Did you ever think that there would be a crime reduction team? And by the way, both of these teams have partnered with the state police on an operation targeting illegal scooters and mopeds. Apparently, they've done a damn good job. 12 arrests, 13 towed vehicles, 64 citations. The Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau and the Crime Reduction Team teaming up with the Stadies for this massive showdown. 12 arrests, 13 vehicles towed, mopeds and scooters towed away, maybe to never be seen again. 64 citations. And I know people are saying you're really being contrite, and I'm sorry about that. But I got to tell you, your Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau is cracking down on scooters and mopeds. Is that what you want your Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau doing? What kind of intelligence are we using to find out who's riding without a registration or a license or insurance? Phew, man. Look, if they can crack down on scooters and mopeds, maybe they can find the people that are shooting the guns. Unless we are to believe that everyone in the city shooting a gun is also riding on a scooter or a moped, and that could be. I'm willing to bet it isn't. These are, I would think Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau, aren't they doing something with trying to find the bad people bringing in the big drugs? No, guess not. They're working on scooter registration, moped licensing. And did you get your insurance? Let's hear from you. Thank you much.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Happening, man.
Yeah, I think you're being, my opinion only, I think you're being a little sarcastic.
I am very much so. Not even a little.
But you know what's crazy is it ain't so much, the mopeds, and if everybody got registered for free, I really don't care. What's really hurting the city is the dirt bikes that are driving on sidewalks at 35, 40 miles an hour, and quads going all over the city. That's what's crazy out there. When you're driving down the street and you got a dirt bike right at you on a wheelie, and a whole bunch of other quads, it's not so funny anymore.
No, exactly. I agree with that one. I agree with you 100% on that.
So I know there's people that can't afford cars, and I'm okay with scooters as long as they're banned by the laws, but they're not. They're cutting in, they're driving, they're going through stop signs, they're doing everything. But I'm telling you, personally, even bikes are doing it now. Kids out there are being idiots. Idiots. They're not just driving to the block.
Let me just say this. Hold on a second. Let me just say this. Kids have always been an idiot when it comes to this kind of stuff. They don't pay attention. I don't know if mom and dad never told them how to ride a bike or what goes on, but I have to raise my hand. Even I was an idiot every once in a while out there riding a bike, thinking, I'm king of the road. Nobody's going to do anything to me.
No, I'm talking about 4 or 5 kids blocking the whole road.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Can't even get by.
Yeah.
I never did that with the kid. I drove a bike my whole life. I never did that to people. I respected the law and respected people. What these kids are doing right now on dirt bikes and on quads, don't care. They're a bunch of hoodlums. I don't mind having scooters. Give them the registration for free, because people can't afford it, and that's the only way they got to go to work. Give it to them for free. As long as they abide by the rules so they don't get hurt and somebody doesn't hit them because of their actions and has to suffer the consequences, that's fine. But I'm glad that they're at least doing something. Because for the past
do you
years,
think that you need that your Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau out doing this?
listen, there's so many other things that out there where we can say that about anything. But I'm saying
It's
to
your
you,
money.
You got to start somewhere. It is. And until you live in a place, in an area, that you got these kids not using it as a scooter to go to work or to go to their friend's house, and they're driving over sidewalks as little kids can run out of their driveway, and somebody gets hurt, then somebody will say, well, maybe they should have did something.
Gotcha.
So I lived it. I was just driving down the street.
I hear you. No, I hear you on that. Look, we see it in Dartmouth too. It's not just New Bedford, but we don't have an Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau. We're not forming a crime reduction team to go after scooters and people riding mopeds. And there's a difference between committing a crime, and I would consider what you're talking about, 4 or 5 people blocking traffic. That's committing a crime. Okay, slowing the process down. But here, you're taking people that should be highly trained, and you are basically they're a grade above mall cop. The way you have it going here, stopping people for the registration's license. The other thing too, you brought up about giving the license for free or the registration for free. You need insurance. Don't have insurance, you're not going to be able to get the registration. What are you going to do about that? All right, let's hear from you. Hello.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Brian is.
Hi, Brian is. So I think what we're missing here is that there is a crossover between the organized crime units and the kids. And we use kids because we think they're mopeds and unregistered bikes, but these are not just kids. These are people that are running their drugs using scooters and using quads and using dirt bikes because they have the advantage of zipping down an alley and sneaking between houses. And they're not just innocent kids out having fun. They're drug running kids, people, not so much kids. And that's why the major crimes units are getting involved, because they watch these people, they know what they're doing, and they're just using another tool to get to the people that, they're not always in a vehicle, and they're not always standing on the corner, because those two places are very easy to get tracked. It's a lot harder to drive an unregistered vehicle around than it is to drive a little moped or a dirt bike.
Fair enough. I would say this though.
Yes.
In reporting all that has been reported here, not one thing about drugs.
Well, I don't. I'm just saying that I believe that that's part of the reason, and maybe they're not putting the drugs in there because they may not want that to be out yet. That's one of the ways that they're trying to track down people that are doing that.
I suppose, but isn't that being a little deceptive?
Well, I don't know. I think criminals are always trying to stay one step ahead of the police. And
yeah,
the police are,
but I think we have laws.
Yeah, but the advantage is that what was happening even in Rhode Island and in Fall River, we had the police chasing them in cars, and they were crashing and having accidents. I believe, and I don't want to go into any detail, but I believe they're using other tools to track these people on the dirt bikes and on the quads. So
in other words, to make sure I'm understanding you well enough,
yes.
It's your belief that the Organized Crime Intelligence Bureau and this new crime reduction team, they're out there trying to stop drug activity from going on, and basically they're bringing up the fact that they're really going after the scooters and the mopeds.
I don't have any solid knowledge on that, but what I'm saying is that I do believe that there's a crossover of that happening, and I think that some of the tools that they're using to to catch drug runners and catch people that are selling illegal drugs and doing illegal things. I mean, it's a heck of a lot easier for a kid on a dirt bike or a person. Again, I'm doing the same thing. We're using kids, right? Because that's what comes up in our mind. But it's easier for a thief to drive down the road, hop onto the sidewalk, grab a woman's purse or anything out of, a gentleman, a business person's computer bag, and then just keep on going, than it is for someone to stop a vehicle, hold up traffic, get out and do a crime like that. So, and I don't think, I think part of the police secrecy is that they don't put everything in the news. I'm sure they were using tools, and I didn't read the article, so I kind of at a loss, but I'm sure they're using other tools throughout the city that are helping them follow those people and figure out where they're going and where they're hiding. Then that's about it.
All right. I appreciate it. I guess what I'm going to say is be nice if they could use some of those tools to find the people that are also doing the shooting. Hello.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
How you doing?
I am winging and I am wanging.
All right. Like the gentleman's saying, and some others have said it too, they're weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds. I've personally seen dirt bikes like that guy's saying on Nash Road between the Boulevard and Brook Street, going about 40, 50 miles an hour, pulling back and forth. And I've seen people on scooters too. They'll tailgate you and then they'll weave in and out and blow through red lights, especially at the top of Nash Road in Mount Pleasant. A guy blew right through that on Mount Pleasant, crossing Nash Road. And they used the scooters, and there was one particular shooting in New Bedford where the gunman was on a scooter. He opened fire into a car and then into a house, and he used that as his getaway. We still don't, like you said.
Those are the ones that you should be going after. I don't know that you use your organized crime team, but the regular police officers should be going after that. The detectives, I get it.
Well, they got the crime unit.
Here's the thing. They're talking about 12 arrests. Well, are they arrested because of the vehicles, of the citations, or did you arrest them for something else? If they're arrested, now all of a sudden that there's paperwork that is going to be on file.
Well, if they confiscate the scooters and there's drug possession in it, that's an arrest. If they have links to it.
But they would say we confiscated drugs.
Yeah, but that's what we have to talk to the police spokesperson to find out what's going on. Like you said, that shooting that happened next to Volk, the Greater New Bedford Volk, very quiet neighborhood, elderly people live there, got shot up in the middle of the night. We still don't know about that. And then there was another shooting where it was an older deaf couple. Too, in the evening, their house got shut up through the front door, through the walls, and they were in their bed watching television when bullets went through their walls above the doorway, and it hit the bed, the headboard. And luckily for them, they didn't get struck by bullets. And that was on the news. I think it was Channel 10 or 12. And the couple said they were going to go to Uruguay because they feared for their life that there might be another shooting. We still don't know, how far along the investigation is. I'm thinking if we're not being told, then they still haven't caught the perpetrators.
I think that's a good guess. Now, they may be hot on the track, and that's fine. But I would say this. If they found the person, if they had that person, they'd let you know. They'd want to boast about it, right. And we'd want to know about it.
And I've heard, scooters over midnight, they take the muffler off, and they think they got, a makeshift Harley. I mean, at over midnight, 1 in the morning, you can hear it down the street, for Pete's sake. So there's violations, too, where they take the muffler out so they can go up and down the street. They think they got a Harley, with a knockoff scooter, a stolen bike. We don't know. The police, I believe, the Bedford Police Department is using this crime intelligence unit with a traffic division to crack down on crime. And I'm pretty sure they use it because a scooter is a good getaway for them to sell dope or gangs to, in their gang violence, shooting up cars and houses. It's much harder to get in and out
I think
with
that
a car, a getaway car.
as far as dealing drugs in any means necessary for the drug dealers, whether it's on a scooter, moped, car, plane, boat, they'll use whatever.
Right. But I'm saying the scooter is an easy getaway where the police cruisers have a hard time because they, like a gentleman said, they can get in through back alleys and very narrow straightaways.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you
but
go.
here's the problem with the scooter. You can only carry so much on a scooter.
Well, if it's dope, they don't care because, they can carry bags and money and they take off. But you remember Chips Patrol back in the 70s, the series where the California Highway Patrol was punching John. They end up getting on dirt bikes to go after guys on motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, you might have, a New Bedford police unit that has, bikes, like dirt bikes, to go after these other guys.
Might not be a bad idea.
That's if the police chief was listening, get an idea from TV police.
Gotcha.
Have a dirt bike unit.
There you go. Or maybe they just let them use horses. Thank you much for your call. Let us let's do one more before we take that break. Hello.
Hello. Does the city have a safety team that teaches these young guys how to really ride the rules of the road and use your, bikes safely, whatever it is?
Above my pay grade, I really don't know.
Right.
Do they have the time to do something like that?
Yes, I saw one that I says, that guy knows the rules of the road. He was puttering on the side of my car. We're all going up north on the boulevard, and all of a sudden we come across a bus that yellow lights turned red, so everyone has to stop, and the kids are coming off the bus. The guy on the side of me that's in a little motorbike of some sort, he crosses in front of my car, goes across the street to the sidewalk, and passes the bus with the red lights. Obviously, he knew you can't pass if you're on the street and you're like a car. So all he did was simply go across the street and ride up the street on the sidewalk. So he knew the rules.
Isn't that still a violation, though, riding up there on the sidewalk?
I wasn't too sure because he was on the sidewalk. Can't you walk on the sidewalk?
You can walk on the sidewalk, but can you ride the...
Well, he did. No, I thought
there's always going to be a way to, you come up with the law, there'll always be a way to beat it.
Yes, and when I see a group of guys on there, because I drive a lot in the city, when I see a group like that and they're all racing and they're going through red lights, I just stop, let them by, get away from my car, just keep going, and I don't know where they end up. But I try to stay away from them as much as possible.
Do they look like they're dealing drugs?
No, they're just having a good time. There's not a lot of things for those 15, 16, 17-year-olds to do in the city. So they all got a little bike or some sort of thing, and they enjoy riding. They all ride together. When they get older, they're going to say, what we did when we were in our teens? This is what we did. Just like we had things to do, and we had to have a little license plate on the bicycles. At the time, you had to pay the city. And so things happen. These kids are just trying to have a good time. I don't really think when you're telling the hardcore drug guys, they're a little more, they're a little more streetwise, and they're doing it for money. But it seems like you got to get a hold of the younger ones for safety, and that the police are not just trying to hunt them down like a mouse or a rat. That they need help. They need something to enjoy. There is nothing, and that's the way society is going. It's getting to be a real drag to be a young person.
Got you. Hey, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate it. It is tough for young kids to find that outlet. But in listening, in particular to the past two conversations, not that the prior conversations weren't good, it dawned on me. Again, we can try to separate bad and good. And so what flashed into my head might be a bad idea, might be a good idea. I don't always have great ideas, but I can also say many times I don't have bad ideas. So what if there was a place, and I thought about this also with these guys like in Fall River that wanted drag race and stuff like that. What if there was an area where they could do that type of stuff? I don't have a place on my brain right now. Here's one. Maybe up at the business park, or maybe over by the golf course on Hathaway there at night. Not during the day, because people golf during the daytime when the weather is good. But a place like that where folks can recreate. They'll pay, I don't know, $3, $5, $10, and they can do drag racing. They can peel out and, stuff like that they kind of want to do. And the same thing, not the same area that they, for these mopeds and scooters. A place where the kids, teenage kids, can go and race and work on bikes. And you know how, maybe you don't know. But in California, there are different places where kids go, grown-ups go. The police know that they're there, where they drag for a quarter mile, half mile. They do all kinds of things with their souped-up cars, bikes, whatever. And as people aren't out there drinking and stuff like that. They're out there. This is their fun. This is how they get off. And they use nitrogen every once in a while. Certain, they know what they're doing. But I don't see any place around here. There's a racetrack in Seekonk, but I don't see any place other than an organized racetrack where where young men and women can go and mess with cars, talk to other people of like mind, and, this is what they want to do. They're not bothering anybody. Now, I separate. A caller brought up, well, you got kids, or I'm using the term kids, on these mopeds, and they're dealing drugs. Well, the drug dealers, they're not going to be coming down to a place like this. And so now you can have different police officers trying to take care of what might be a real drug problem or drug distribution channel, that kind of stuff. But to the other kids, they're looking for a place to go. They're looking for something to do. And yet there is no such place. But my guess is somewhere between Fairhaven, and I'll take it up into Acushnet, come over to Freetown, bring it down into Dartmouth, loop it around. I'm not saying New Bedford only because there is such limited space in the city, except maybe up at the business park or over at the at that golf course area. But I think people will take their vehicles and go to these places. They'll pay, like I said, $5, $10, could even be $25 to go and race around, horse around with their vehicles. Just a thought. 508-996-0500.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
There are no solutions. There are only trade-offs. And whatever you do to deal with one of man's flaws, it creates another problem. But that you try to get the best trade-off you can get, and that's all you can hope for.
This is WBSM.
Hi, how are... You again?
I have some last-minute gift problems.
Don't worry. Hickory Farms has over 100 gift packs.
Low Cost Air helps you find the best airfares, foreign and domestic. Low Cost Air, 800-221-6085. Low Cost Air, 800-221-6085.
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Dashing through the store, Dave's looking for a gift. One you can't ignore, but not the socks he picked.
I know, I'm putting them back.
Hey Dave, here's a tip. Put scratchers on your list.
Oh, scratchers. Good idea.
It's an easy shopping trip. We're glad we could assist.
Thanks, random singing people.
So be like Dave this holiday and give the gift of play. Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day.
Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
There's no better fool than the Freedom Fools. Now, back to Brian.
I said a government's a way, way, way too big. Government's a way, way, way too big. You know that government's a way, way, way too big. So tell us what you gonna do to make it small. Your move.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. I think other people do. Before I go right back to the phone, I'm going to continue this story from the Standard Times. 8-hour operation with state police on November 20, this 2 days ago. The New Bedford Police Department and state police allocated significant resources to the coordinated 8-hour operation on November 20. 8 detectives and 3 crime reduction team officers partnered with troopers, K-9 unit, Air Wing, and other field services personnel who provided support. So, to me, going back to what a previous caller stated, this seems like it was more than, let's go after some illegal scooters and mopeds. I mean, if you got the K-9 folk out there, what are you going to have the dogs chasing down a kid on a moped? Air Wing, because you're trying to stop kids from doing wheelies in the middle of the street. 12 arrests, 13 towed vehicles, 64 citations. Hello.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Brian, you introduced a good, relevant topic, and your callers added good information. I have almost been seriously injured as a senior citizen walking on a sidewalk by a silent electric bike coming from behind me at great speed, and I had to wheel out of the way or I would have been hit and seriously injured. The second guy, he knew that he caused a likewise problem on a different occasion, and he stopped at the end of the block and looked back at least, but there would be no way to identify these people for damages or fines or whatever without a city-issued license plate, which I once saw in an old barn decades ago, and it doesn't have to require insurance like regular automotive licensing. It can just be an ID plate so that anybody that does cause an accident or injury can be summoned to court for some sort of punishment, and that would perhaps require maybe a 10-question document to get that city license for a small fee, indicating they know something about the rules of the road. So,
but how do you, going back to the registration, how do you get the registration without insurance?
License plate that can be traced. Who's operating the bike? It should be low cost. Who knows? Maybe $5 or $10, but you must have one on your vehicle.
But you're not going to be able to get the insurance.
That's right.
Without insurance,
but you can sue them. You can sue them out of that circuit privately, and they can also be arrested and brought to court, etc., and whatever is necessary, juvenile school or whatever, to reduce these possible injuries with no accountability.
Is that it?
No. In Providence, if the revenue-hungry mayor wants to help reduce this confusion in the street, in Providence they have implemented a sound camera to catch and find people with loud noises, 60 decibels or over. The camera will take a picture of their license plate and generate fines as a result. So I think that's a good idea, because most of these motorcycle people, they do take off bafflers, etc. I used to be a motorcycle. I didn't need to prove my masculinity by having a roaring noise follow me wherever I went. And, of course, as was well known, the police force, a lot of the officers off duty, they like to get into their masculinity and have loud motorcycles themselves, so they never enforce, the ordinances of noise to speak of.
Well, but now in the city, you've got your Crime Intelligence Bureau out there doing it.
There are many people driving these vehicles, bicycles, mopeds, whatever, and they can get away with most of what they do because they have no license plate. And to get a license plate for $5 or $10 from the city is not the same as the Registry of Motor Vehicles. And to get one, maybe you should have to take a rules of the road test at some New Bedford department. That would make us all safer. But also, we should get rid of noise pollution. It's not good for your health.
Not good for your ears, anyway. All right, man.
For your health, too.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, thanks, Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Thanks. Look, there's noise, but you're allowed to make noise or a smattering of noise up until 10 o'clock, I believe, maybe 11 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock on weeknights. But I don't really hear these complaints in the Mattapoisets, the Marions, the Dartmouths, the Westports. Why is it? City of New Bedford. Don't hear about it in Acushnet, Breetown. Does everybody just, hey, let's go to New Bedford and screw with their old people? That's what we're going to do. We're going to ride our mopeds and our bikes and just go crazy around New Bedford folk?
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
This is WBSM.
Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas from your Kmart Christmas store.
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Dashing through the store, Dave's looking for a gift. One you can't ignore, but not the socks he picked.
I know, I'm putting them back.
Hey Dave, here's a tip. Put scratchers on your list.
Oh, scratchers. Good idea.
It's an easy shopping trip. We're glad we could assist.
Thanks, random singing people.
So be like Dave this holiday and give the gift of play. Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day.
Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Freedom Pools on WBSM. Here's more with Brian Thomas.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
If we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
As they say, bye-bye, birdie. Looking over this list, November 10th, officers issued 2 criminal citations to 2 juveniles for...
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
With the state of today's economy, it's more important than ever to invest in products that last for years to come. As the seasons shift and get cooler, make sure your closet is stocked with durable layers that stand the test of time from American Giant. American Giant's clothes work harder and are wearable season after season. Their greatest hoodie ever made is made from the highest quality materials that are cut and sewn right here in the United States. So you're investing right back in your local community. Choosing American Giant means taking a stand for American manufacturing and hardworking Americans, something other mega corporations don't care about. From fleece to knit, all in a range of colors for versatile daily wear, American Giant delivers everyday pieces designed for everyday life. Feel the difference of quality, made-to-last clothes from American Giant. Get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with code STAPLE20.